Hey YouTube, it's Lisa. I really don't know what I'm talking about today because I was going to talk about TTC, but I don't even know where I stand right now because my dog is like throwing his toy in my lap. I have a million things to be doing right now and I'm procrastinating by making a video because my kids are at karate and I should be planning our Bible lesson for tonight and I should be making dinner. And I should be prepping the service project that we're going to do for our friend's daughter tonight. But I am really overwhelmed right now with all those things, so I am making a video. But, oh, and if you like my ensemble, I will have to tell you about how becoming minimalist has changed my fashion sense forever. And how I had no fashion sense. I still have no fashion sense. I was one of those people who was born with negative fashion sense. Like, I always told my husband, like, if you have a rockin' body, then you can just put jeans and a t-shirt on and you're fine. However, since all my miscarriages, I am feeling really flabby and really frumpy. And so I felt like I needed to find a sense of fashion, and minimalism actually did that for me. So I didn't find a sense of fashion. I just found a technique to look fashionable. But I will make a different video about that because it's funny because now I like whenever somebody says, oh, you look nice, I like, oh, let me tell you about this. Anyway, let's see. So on the TTC front, I don't know where I stand because we were trying, but then I'm getting my tooth done. And I had to have lots of x-rays and lots of stuff. And it's a big process. And so actually I have the post in now. And then I get my post-op thing next week. And then by November, I might actually have a tooth. And I finally kind of come to terms with this. I used to wear the flipper, like the little plastic thing, all around the house, even at night, because I didn't want my husband to see me with it. But then I noticed that one of my teeth was rotating because I was wearing the flipper too much. And so then I just was like, yeah, whatever. But I still laugh like a total dork because I've always had a really big smiley laugh. And now when I don't have the flipper in, one of my kids will say something funny and I'm like, ha ha ha, like, because I'm a big dork and I don't like the big gap that shows. I don't know, I feel like it makes it worse. But okay, so I don't know if we're trying or not. I kind of feel like, I kind of feel like I hate to miss the opportunity. So we've kind of been trying, but then I'm nervous about the opportunity because I did just have x-rays and I will be having more x-rays. And so, yeah, so that's kind of where I stand right now. I will actually know in a couple days if I am. And then they told me at the doctor's office that the x-rays were very focused, at the dentist, that they're very focused, and they really, like, the person doing the x-ray doesn't even wear protection. They just do it in the hallway. So it's like where you put your head in, you bite down on a stick. So if anybody knows anything about that one, what do they call it? Is it a panoramic? I don't know. I can't remember what they called it because I was nervous. So I wasn't really listening. I was just kind of following guidance. So that's kind of where I am TTC. And I have some interesting stuff on the moving into an RV front. I want to thank the people who've given me great advice and who've done it before. Who knew that people had done it before? That's so exciting. I am almost thinking that I might make this channel just everything, TTC and RVing and homeschooling. Because let's face it, I can't get it together with one channel, let alone 3 channels. And so, and it's not like I'm doing it, like, it's not like I really like the community sense of YouTube, and I really like, I don't know, I just have this weird connection with YouTube. I like it. I like the fact that I have friends on YouTube, if that sounds freaky and weird. And so it's not like I need a business model, I guess, is what I was thinking. From a business perspective, if I were doing it as a business, then I would need probably to have separate ones. But I'm not really. I'm kind of just connecting with people who are like me. So I think I'm going to go the single channel. So anyway, and maybe I'll get really organized and like tell people if I like 2 minutes and 44 seconds in, then I start talking about this or whatever. But that would be assuming a lot. Anyway, I'm just amazed that people have done it before and that that people are willing to offer advice. So thank you so much. And I guess the first thing I've learned, I am going to start doing a tour of my house. The really big bummer thing is I wish I would have done a tour of my house before I started ripping everything out. So you guys can see that I live in this quaint little house and that everything is underneath the surface, pretty perfect looking, until you start digging out all the stuff and you're like, oh my goodness, that woman's a pack rat. So, but now we're kind of in the, I am exposing my true self place because I'm not putting it all away. I dug it all out, I'm getting rid of it. We're having a garage sale for the round one, and I'm not putting it back. So you guys are gonna get to see the nasty, stuff everywhere view of my house. And but we went and shopped we went looking at campgrounds, and I know it sounds totally ghetto, but we're looking at the KOA. The KOA is looking really nice. They have a pool, they have a hot tub. Our KOA has a creek. My kids were super excited, and they have a playground. It was just really nice, especially since we're going to be doing a lot of outdoor living. And we looked at RVs, and oh my goodness, you can get RVs with bunk beds in them. Now, our big thing is we are not going to be making payments on an RV. We're saving up for this year, and then whatever we make on our house, and then, I don't know, whatever. We're like, whatever we have in savings or whatever. We're going to buy an RV outright, so we're not making house payments, because that's part of the excitement, is to be like, okay, we're going to, like, we can travel. Like, if we wanted, we could just, like, we live in Colorado, so we could just go to Breckenridge or whatever for the weekend and not worry, oh my goodness, we have 6 people to put skis on. Because if you've ever been to Breckenridge, like, skiing is not cheap, and renting skis for 6 people is not something that we take lightly. So, and we're not really skiers. I'm not a skier. I'm not athletic at all. So, anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm backtrack. My kids just watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and remember how he always says, stop that, reverse it? Like, okay, stop that, reverse it. Anyway, we are going to, so we're going to pay cash for the RV, so we have no house payment, nothing. It's going to be super exciting. And I've been looking, a lot of people have said that in the winter they froze. Now, we live here in Colorado, so it's kind of 50-50. You really never know. Like, we could get a snowstorm, and then it could be 80 degrees the next day, because the weather, like, comes down from the mountains, and so it's really unpredictable. But I digress. But we looked at RVs, and we looked at RVs that have, like, bunk beds. Oh my goodness, so cool. But I was kind of looking at options, and one of the things I was looking at is, like, they have heated mattress pads, and I was thinking that would be a really good option, especially for my kids. And then we have a master bedroom in one of the RV that we really like has a master bedroom, and my husband really liked that, because his big thing, even though he's been super excited about this, we both are, and I think it's just taken a huge weight off just kind of the freedom to have just freedom, like, not to own our own home, like, yeah, we're paying a mortgage, but to own our own home. Like, own it. It's ours. So, pretty exciting. But my husband, kind of his biggest downfall was, like, no privacy. And so, like, the RVs, like, so a lot of them have a private bedroom. So, that was pretty cool. But, okay, so here is the first thing I've learned about this whole thing. Don't tell anybody until you do it. It's like telling people your baby's name before you have the baby. You know how you say, like, okay, one of my son's names is Jacob, and I made this mistake. I said, people are like, oh, what are you going to name your baby? Oh, I'm going to name him Jacob. Like, it's a family name, like my mom's maiden name. And so I really wanted to use that, and people are like, oh, yeah, I knew a Jacob in 3rd grade, and he was an idiot, but I'm sure your Jacob will be nice. Like, really? You're trying to ruin my name? And then, like, what do you name your baby? Oh, I'm going to name him Jacob. And people will be like, oh, Jacob, didn't you know that's, like, the 2nd most common name in the United States right now? Yes, I did. Thank you. Like, okay, so people say, like, really mean, inconsiderate things. Well, I am finding telling people that we're moving into an RV, I know it's a little extreme. Like, we're kind of people that people probably should have seen it coming, but I don't think people did see it coming just because of the life we live, neighborhood we live in. I don't know. But anyway, I should have never told people, because now people are like, everybody has something negative to say about it. And by that, I don't mean people who are like saying, hey, be careful, you're going to get cold, and telling us, like, helpful information. I mean the people who are like, what are you thinking? This is mean to your kids. This is horrible. What on earth are you thinking? I am like, oh my goodness, this is going to be an exercise in strength and resolve, because this is something we really want to do, and it's something we really want to do with our kids. And as my husband puts it, we're getting back to basics. We want to go back to basics where we're not, we live in a neighborhood where people spend hours on their lawn. And we don't want to spend hours on our lawn. We want to spend hours with our kids. And we live in a neighborhood where people constantly renovate their kitchen. Okay, honestly, I'm a little jealous because my kitchen, the way it's built, it's not really renovatable and it's really small. But I probably wouldn't, I just like, we're not renovators, we're not HGTV people. And so we're kind of wasted. We're in a neighborhood where we don't value the things that are important here. And I think we really changed too. We did the Dave Ramsey program a couple of years ago. We used to live in Maryland, and when we moved there, my husband had a job that we thought was a good paying job. And then we moved to Maryland, and we realized that our house, our townhouse, was like $500,000 for a townhouse. And that, yeah, we got into some debt while we were there. And then, if you know anything about debt, you know that it's kind of a never-ending thing. Once you're in it, then you can't really make ends meet, so you're kind of using credit to live, and then it's kind of a cycle. So Dave Ramsey was a real blessing to our family because we were able to do the program and get debt-free. But honestly, because of the life, like where we live and stuff, we were never able to get to those last baby steps where you're really like, where you really have that solid savings, that solid retirement, that solid, college fund. We were just never able to really like get to that comfort zone. And so, this would be fantastic for that. And the other thing is when we moved in here, we were still paying off our debt. And so, which is really stupid to move into a house like this when you're paying off debt. But we were still paying off our debt, and I think our values were different. After we finished the Dave Ramsey program, okay, I used to be the person who, like, my friend or my neighbor would buy a new car, and I'd be like, oh, they got a new car. I love their new car. Oh, my gosh, our minivan's like a total hoopty. Okay, and now, totally different. I am so proud of our beat-up old cars because they are paid for. They are ours. And I'm really proud of that, and I feel differently, and I think it has made a difference in how we've been raising our kids, just kind of not giving them everything and having them work and having them do chores and having them see that, like, you don't have to. Happiness does not come from having an Escalade. Happiness does not come from having a big house. And I think my kids are really seeing that because we are a really happy family, and we are really looking forward to spending time together. And I know it's going to be cramped and everything, and I know, but we are just looking forward to this adventure together. But two of our biggest critics have been my mother and my mother-in-law. And so I guess just like homeschooling, we need to prove that we're not ruining our kids. So anyway, I apologize if this was like kind of a random video. I am totally going to do the clothing video though. Totally going to do the clothing video and how I found my sense of style through having no clothes. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about it. So I'm going to go because I need to go. I really do need to go plan our service project and my kids' Bible study and clean the kitchen and make some dinner for my family before they get home from karate. And oh, what just happened to my camera? And I will talk to you soon. All right, bye YouTube.